All right, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in Gulf Shores, Alabama, I've got a wonderful real estate agent that I want to introduce y'all to. Hey, I'm Nate Carver, and welcome to Between Two Doors. Hi, Audrey Rose Stewart. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a wonderful day and sunny outside, and it's getting warm. And there's a lot happening in the real estate world, as you know. And
Mhm.
we're going to jump into it. And I am looking forward to introducing everybody to you. And anyway, let's jump in it. Audrey, tell me. Let's talk about your story. Um, people are meeting you for the first time. Who is Audrey Rose?
Well, I grew up down in coastal Alabama, so always on the water. My dad and brother actually are marine diesel mechanics, so lots of boats in our lives, lots of beach in our lives. And then as I grew up down here, just liked the area, but you know how kids are, like when you grow up somewhere, you're like, I gotta get out of this place. So
Yeah.
I've moved to a couple of different cities, New Orleans, Atlanta, really far away, Pensacola. And I've just always realized that Orange Beach and Gulf Shores are just really the best place to live in the world. So I always came back and then bartended for a while and loved that. And now I'm transitioning into real estate so that, bartending is super fun and I love it. But also, like, man, it's really hard on your body and the hours aren't always so great. But
No.
yeah, neither are real estate actually. It's kind of a 24-hour job, but but I get to sleep
This
a little
is
earlier.
a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not doing house showings at 2, 3 a.m. So
No, not
no.
yet. Not yet.
So good. Although I guess if you're showing a house on the beach at night, you can take them down to the water and show them the bioluminescence,
Hmm.
which is always if you don't know anything about that, if you're listening to this, the water down there is crystal clear, but at night, all the I don't know what they are. The water lights up.
Hmm.
It's fascinating. Anyway, all right. So your coastal lifestyle, boating, fitness, bartending, your beach life, you're living the dream.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of my premise is I love it down here so much and I've found so much joy here in the community that I'm like, you know what? Baldwin County, this county that I live in is the I think fifth fastest growing county in the nation.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. And so, people are coming, like they might as well have good guidance and be able to make good choices on where they go and learn about these communities. And I feel like I can help them. And uh,
Yeah.
and I don't try to make everybody drink the Orange Beach and Gulf Shores Kool-Aid, but it's so good. It's
It's pretty good.
yeah.
You got uh the late Jimmy Buffett's sister Lulu,
Hmm.
uh that restaurant right there on the intercoastal.
Hmm.
Anyway, there's a lot of good stuff
And
there.
then
Uh
Margaritaville opening up right next door, like well, pretty down the canal across from the wharf. Yeah. So
Yeah, that place
yeah,
is going to be amazing.
it's gonna be
What they're
cool.
doing there. It's I think it's going to be their flagship. That's how
Hmm.
they're pitching it, is if that's the flagship for that franchise. And so
Yeah.
pretty exciting. Okay, so what originally pulled you into real estate?
So kind of like I said, I've been bartending for so long. And the funny thing is, when I was like 20 years old, I bought the online real estate course because I was like, oh, that's something I could do. That's pretty interesting. And I saw so many people doing it around me. But then you get wrapped up in kind of like making money and 20 years old, who's really serious about, I wasn't serious about careers or
Hmm.
anything then. So I just got wrapped up into that. So I sat down with myself one day and I was like, okay, bartending, love it, but here are the cons to it. As I get older, there's less time for family stuff, any holiday or any weekend. I've always booked anytime in the summer. I'm like off days are off the table. And then in the
Yeah.
wintertime, when tourism dies down, the money sinks a lot. So you really have to plan and prepare. So I looked at bartending. I was like, well, what do I like about it? I like the money. I like that it's not an hourly wage and my salary is based on my performance. And I love connecting with people. I like to make
Yeah.
people feel at home. And it's like, so what categories of work really tie into that? And I was like, well, I think real estate's a really good one. So I still get
Hmm.
to hang out with people, meet people to hear about their needs and get to know them, build relationships. And then ultimately, in the service of giving them what they need, that's how I earn a living, you know? And so
Yeah.
it kind of fits right in.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you probably have seen this. I got a good idea too, but what has there been anything from your bartending experience that has translated and benefited you as a realtor? Like, oh, I'm just thinking, in the bartending space, you're going to meet all kinds of people, right? And then on the
Yep.
real estate side, anyway, that's just random thought there, but I just
Yeah.
imagine your clientele, probably pretty fantastic.
hmm
And you,
Well, I
yeah,
mean, I think the ability, like in a bar tending scenario, you do kind of have to read someone quickly. And
yeah,
okay, is this somebody I can cut up with? Is this somebody who's a little more reserved? Is this somebody who knows exactly what they want and I just need to get that done for them? Or is this someone I need to take a little more time with and kind of ask them questions and coach them through this? Is this somebody who maybe just needs to get out of the bar, like so that
yeah,
sometimes maybe we're just not ready for this, neither of us. And so I think that that has helped, like the initial, like getting to know somebody based off of a firsthand experience, like quickly. And then also just like the building of a relationships, that it's like basically quick relationship boot camp is bartending. And then because
yeah.
that's how you're a successful bartender, is to make people feel welcome and give them what they need. Sometimes they don't know what that is, and you're supposed to figure it out. And I think it's exactly the same in real estate.
I think you're right. I think you're
Yeah.
right. Um, let's see. Let me look at my notes here.
Yeah.
Ah, so you do weightlifting training.
Yeah.
And so where I'm going with this, from your bartending experience, your weight training, a lot of discipline in both,
hmm
certainly in the weight training for sure.
hmm
And any I would assume there's a huge benefit to there because now you're an entrepreneur. I mean, yes, a real estate agent, but you're an entrepreneur. You are building a book of business. So some connecting points there for you, right?
hmm Yeah. I mean, you can't tell from this shot, but I am pretty jacked. Yeah. No.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm really grateful for bodybuilding, because it did introduce so much discipline in my life. Like it's
yeah,
every day I have 1,000 little choices, and it's a lot of little actions that you're like, does it really matter if I do this or not? Does it really matter if I get on this treadmill? Does it really matter if I do 12 reps instead of 10 reps? Does it really matter if I eat 200 grams of rice or if I eat these French fries? But after
yeah,
months and months of doing those little things, you're like, wow, all of this really mattered. And so that I think is the same in real estate too. It's like, does it really matter if I make these calls? Like, I don't know. I could just not call the next 5 people on the list. Does it really matter if I hand out a business card at an event? But at the end of the day, and the planning and preparation for it too. Like,
hmm,
if I go into my real estate office and I don't have a plan yet for the day, which I have done a lot and still do, I'm like, gosh, I didn't plan and prepare. So now I spent the whole day preparing. Whereas if I plan ahead, same in bodybuilding, I can execute. I just don't have to think about it. I can just execute that plan. And it's a lot more comes of it. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I love it.
mhm,
Let's shift gears, talk a little bit about Alabama,
mhm.
specifically on the Gulf Coast. For somebody who's never visited the Gulf Shores or Orange Beach, how would you describe the vibe?
Okay. Well, first of all, it's gorgeous. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm a little spoiled because I grew up here. I did not realize that all beaches weren't like perfectly white sand.
They're
And
not.
so the first time I saw one that was like, it was in Spain even. So like not like I was going to some weird like low down, backwoods beach or something, but it was just like brown sand. And I was like, what
Yeah.
is this? And so it's just so beautiful because we have the coastline here and there is a good bit of tourism, but I think the thing that's different is we have such a good permanent community here too.
Hmm.
Whereas when I go to Destin and 30A and stuff like that, they have gorgeous tourism and coastline, but I don't see a lot of permanent roots there, so you're
Right.
missing out on the community aspect. And then up further into Baldwin County, there's beautiful towns that are on like creeks and tributaries with much more land and diverse like diverse plant life and everything like that, and just smaller towns and everything. So it's very like it's small town, but there are also little spots where there's so much growth that you really have everything you need, except for a Costco, which we are getting. I heard a rumor.
What?
I heard we're getting one. I don't know when, but I heard it's happening. And so you really have everything you need. Uh, and also the tourism, I feel like it's a very laid back tourism spot too. There's not a lot of crazy spring breaks. There's not a lot of like no MTV takeover type of situation. I think that's kind of died out. And
Yeah.
so a lot of families, and then I think I find that a lot of families come down, like kids, people who are my age came down on vacation as they were children for years and years and years.
Hmm.
And then now they're like, yeah, we're going to move down here and this is where we want to like plant our roots. And so, and you can do that anywhere from Gulf Shores and Orange Beach up to like Fairhope and Daphne and still enjoy
Yeah.
all the benefits of Baldwin County because it really doesn't take that long to get down to the beach. But
No, it doesn't.
the construction of the new Beach Express and everything, it's pretty great. And I just came from a weekend in Atlanta, so I'm like the traffic here so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Moved to Orange Beach. Way better than Atlanta. So way better.
Absolutely.
What's your perfect weekend?
Ooh, for me, if I'm not working, usually I'll go. My parents live a little bit north of me on a creek called Soldiers Creek. So I'll go up there, or
Okay.
sometimes they'll take their boat across and they'll meet me at a restaurant down here so I don't have to drive all the way. And we'll go out on the boat. There's live music literally everywhere. So eat
Hmm.
good food, live music, get some sun either on the beach or the boat and just hang out, right up the road from me. The community center has a lot of festivals and a farmers market they started doing on Sundays. And so it's just a lot of good opportunities to go to events and like connect with the community. Yeah. So that's a perfect weekend for me. Sun,
Good.
community, family. Yeah.
Right. So you have there's the intercoastal waterway that goes through there.
Hmm.
And so obviously just south is the Gulf of America, and then you have, the bays. So let's talk a little bit about boating. So people moving down the Gulf, you don't have to own a boat, but if you do, and there's plenty of places. How far? I'm thinking of the wharf is right
Hmm.
there, and there's plenty of other places too. But if you got a boat, what would you do with that boat in southern Alabama?
Kind of depends on where you live. The neighborhood I live in, um, it's not an HOA. It's a covenant community. So you can volunteer to pay to get in it or not. And there's
Hmm.
boat storage and a boat ramp there. You can also, in my neighborhood, you can store a boat in your like yard area. But there's a lot of marinas that have like dry storage and stuff, and they take the boat out for you, put it back up. A lot of condos that are on the sound side of the water, they'll have deeded boat access, which is awesome. Like, so when you buy your condo, this is your boat slip.
Oh,
So
that's
you
nice.
have somewhere to put it. But other than that, there's like several really great marinas where they take really good care of you and they'll put it up in this storage. You want it out for the weekend, you just call them, let them know, they bring it down. They'll even wash it off and stuff for you. Like it's pretty
Hmm.
sweet. And then if you don't have a boat, you can get a friend with a boat or or there's a boat club that you can join, which I've considered, but I'm like, I think I have a dad with a boat, so I'm good on that. Dad with a boat
Yeah.
works, but the boat club is cool. You can pay like a monthly membership fee, and there's different tiers to it. So if you want bigger boats and stuff, you pay a little more. If you just want, okay, we're just going to use this pontoon or this little like center console boat, they can do that and rent them out and take them out when you want to, which is kind of cool.
Nice. So obviously we're talking about real estate. So people moving down there would no longer be tourists or visitors. They're going to be
Mhm.
residents. Um, any hidden gems you want to clue them in on?
Ooh, well, let's see. As far as like restaurants on the Gulf Shore side of things, little casual place, the Sloop, so good. It's technically a bar, but it's during the day. You can always do kids come in until 10 p.m., families and stuff. There's an outside area where they have live music. They have like the greatest Philly cheesesteak I've ever had. And coming from somebody from Alabama, maybe not a lot of weight to that, but it is good. Um, there's places like Big Fish in Orange Beach, which is like a little nicer, a sushi bar type of place. They have a fabulous happy hour. Um, Trying to think of all the places I go.
Whoops. All right, Audrey. So what might be some misconceptions about moving to the coast?
I think that the biggest one is that people think it's not possible. Like that it's this big idea that's totally out of reach and they'll never be able to afford a house here. They'll never be able to get a condo here because it's just too much and it's growing a lot. But I think in Baldwin County, it's probably the most accessible like gateway to the Gulf that you're going to get in comparison to
Yeah.
Florida or anything like that. And there's constantly I would say constantly. There are new developments that are really like reined in and tracked by the city to make sure we don't overwhelm ourselves.
Hmm.
That actually have really great deals all the time. I showed some townhouses today that are well, they're listed at like 375,
Right.
which that's the list price. So you can always go down from that. But in a couple years from now, if you buy in at that, there's no way that they won't be worth like 450, as
Right.
long as there's no inevitable crash or something like that, you know. And also there's still a lot of land too, to
Yes.
where you can absolutely like buy land, hold on to it, build it, put equity into something. Like it's possible to actually get into these places. And I did a series a while back on my Instagram on all of the listings that were under $500,000. There were over, I think, 120 listings between Orange Beach and Gulf Shores that were under $500,000, which
Right.
for a beach community is pretty big. Like that's a big deal. Um, and so it's just, I think it's way more accessible than people think, for sure.
Good. Move to the beach.
It's everybody's
um,
dream. Yeah.
I know, gosh, right there. I mean, you're a mile out from catching bluefin tuna.
Hmm.
Or you just go inland and catch a largemouth bass.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a lot of or hunting, if you're into hunting,
Yeah.
a lot of great opportunity there. And if you're not, there's, Mobile, the big city, if you will, is right there. Pensacola
Mhm.
is not too far over the other direction. A lot of historical landmarks, Fort Morgan, Fort McRae,
Mhm.
Fort Pitt, all of that from
Yeah.
Civil War era stuff. So lots of history, lots of good stuff. Real estate investing. What types of buyers are you seeing most right now?
Right now, the market is kind of looking like luxury listings are going quickly, and
Yeah.
then very affordable listings are going really quickly. And it's kind of the same people that are buying them. So it's
Mm-hmm.
people who have the extra money. It's not, this is a second home, this is a second property, this is an additional investment property for them, and they aren't really worried about it. Um,
Right.
the chunky middle, where like home buyers who would be in the $300,000 to $600,000 range, those people at this moment, and rightfully so, there's a war going on, gas prices are this or that, interest rates are kind of a little, higher than they're always higher than we would like. But
Right. I
so those
know.
people they're taking a little more caution than just a buyer who can see a listing. I had someone who was looking at a condo down here, teeny tiny little condo, but just for Airbnb purposes, $150,000. Like,
Oh,
so
wow.
you just throw that, and if you have the cash to throw on it, boom. It was like listed for maybe 5 days before it went under contract.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like that kind of stuff is moving super quick. Um, but then first time home buyers are doing a really good job too, actually. With some of the builders that are in the area that offer like buy down incentives and better interest
Hmm.
rates and stuff like that. First time home buyers are doing really well. You just have to coach them through it. It's scary and I get it, so as long as they have a good helping hand, a good person on the mortgage side of things and a good realtor to kind of coach them through and connect those two dots, that's really
Yeah.
important. And so I've seen probably 6 or 7 friends of mine since January have gotten into their first homes, which is
Right.
really awesome. So,
Good.
yeah.
Tell you what, if you're buying a home, your team, it's a great realtor like yourself, a great mortgage lender. I'm available. Um, and a great insurance partnership. That right there, those three, you're going to have a clear mortgage plan to own a home, whether it's a private, whether it's your personal primary or investment or second home. That team will get you there with a solid plan. Other markets that you know about, what makes the Gulf Coast area unique?
Um, well, I mean, I think it's pretty diverse as far as like the topography of everything, right? If you want to live on the beach, you can. If not,
Hmm.
you've got like more rural areas and country areas. You got more developed areas like Daphne, Fairhope, Foley. Like you said
Yeah,
earlier with Mobile and Pensacola, both of those are like 45 minutes away. So
yeah,
you're close enough and far enough. And then our school systems are great too. Like
yeah,
it's a fantastic area to raise a family. Um, and lots of opportunity for small businesses and people who just kind of want to get after it and hustle. Uh,
yeah,
Even though a lot of people down here come to retire and the hustle is off, they're done hustling. It's also a really great place for young people to come and really lay their mark on things. I know especially for newcomers who move from farther away or out of state. It doesn't take long for you to get into the community and just have them wrap their arms around you and kind of, you're not going to be lost in the mix. As
right.
long as you get out there and you kind of join in, people welcome with open arms for the most part. It's really cool.
Good. So, what do you think separates great realtors from your average realtor?
Mm. Hmm. In my opinion, I feel like it's probably the intention and then the execution,
Hmm.
intention behind what you're doing and the execution of it. Because there are so many agents in this area. I think there's like 3,500 agents in Baldwin County, which in comparison to our population is pretty high.
Yeah.
And don't quote me on this, but the statistic was, I think, like over 70% of those realtors only made one transaction in the past year.
Right.
So I think so that would be more execution, right? How the number of sales, the number of clients you have, what you're doing, just to have the hustle in you and actually go after it instead of thinking, okay, this is just fun and I get to show houses and I get to wear what I want and it's going to be easy. And then, but I think the ones that I've seen be most successful are those that actually care about their clients. Like they do
Yeah.
call, follow up, not just because they saw a listing, but because they wrote it down when they were talking to them one day that, hey, your birthday's May 26th. So I'm going to give you a
Hmm.
call on your birthday. Or, oh, I remember you said something about your kid's concert and she plays the oboe. Like, what's going on with that? The actually being able to connect and bond with people. There are agents in my office who've talked about how they reached out to people in condos for years and years and one guy told me a story. He said that somebody he'd called for years just asked him for a favor to find a phone number of a business in town. And he was like, it's something so simple. They're like, well, you could Google that. But instead, he just found the phone number of the person in town and
Hmm.
gave it to him. And then it wasn't next week, but a year after that, the man came to him and he was like, I want you to be my agent because you took the time to help me and you've been
Yeah.
consistent the whole time. So stories like that are like, yep, it does matter if I make the call. It does matter if I send the birthday card. And even if they can Google the answer, I'll Google it for them. Like, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I was interested in, I guess when I discovered you, if you will. You're disciplined, you're consistent, clearly. And so that's kind of the things I wanted to capture. That's why I invited you on the podcast. And so I was like, we're definitely going to talk about that. Good. So tell me, we've talked a little bit about, helping people and building, building the lifestyle that they want to have down on the Gulf Beach and the Gulf Shores area. What does that mean to you personally?
Um, to me personally, like I am one who's drank the Kool-Aid down here. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave. Like this is where I want to be. So for me personally, it's like the Gulf Coast lifestyle is I'm involved in the community. There's several groups I
Yeah.
joined. I love going out to events we have. The Billfish Classic was just this past weekend. So that's our first
Mm,
big fishing tournament of the year. So all of the boats kind of line up and they do the shotgun start where they all go out into the Gulf and it takes a couple days
yeah.
and they come back into the marina and weigh all the fish. It's just a great time to come together. Um, there are just neighborhoods that throw little parties kind of together, almost like block parties and poker runs. There's just so much community to be involved in. So being involved in that is like the highlight of my life. Being able to go into a grocery store and see like 3 or 4 people I know
Yeah.
is like there's something sweet about that. Um, and then when you see a stranger, like because that energy is already there really are not that many strangers. So you get to connect with people all the time. I would love to. I rent currently, but the townhouses down the road from me are for sale. And I'm like, that's exactly where I want to be in the next 2 years. And so get a townhouse there. Maybe we get a golf cart, that's kind
Yeah.
of it doesn't have to happen immediately, but it's a big deal. It's a huge deal around here. And just to be able to do that. Um, and further down the road, I'm fortunate to have a broker who not only is coaching me through like making a successful real estate business, but also in how to create wealth for myself down here to show me
Yeah.
for my clients and me alike to be like, this is how you point out a good deal. This is how you know if there's a good HOA in the building. This is how you could actually make money on a condo investment instead of buying one that is crazy insurance and you get a ton of special assessments. So it's always a headache.
Hmm.
So that's the goal for me is to get a couple investment properties, to have a house of my own, to have a place to where, because I have family that lives out of state and stuff, to be like, oh, you guys want to come down this weekend? You can stay in this condo right here. And they kind of pay for themselves. And it just kind of just evolves like that. So that's where
Nice.
I look forward to. Like, that's what the lifestyle for me. I was hopefully going to evolve
Good.
through this. Yeah.
You're chasing your dream.
Yeah.
So tell me, what would you recommend to somebody else that's not quite pulled the trigger on it, or they may feel stuck? Not necessarily real estate, life in
Mhm.
general, real estate. What would you tell them to do?
Gosh. That's a big question. So I was stuck for a really long time. I would say until about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, my life was like super out of control and all over the place, unmanageable. And for a while, I'd really accepted that. I was like, this is
Yeah.
just what life is like. Like, I'm always going to have problems. I'm always going to be a little sad. I'm always going to be stuck at a job that I might want to quit or just what might fire me. Like it's always going to be chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that by watching a couple other people who came out of it, I was a little curious, like, what do they do? Um, and just kind of followed their example. I'd say it's really scary, but sometimes just taking a step to change one major thing. For me, it was just the lifestyle that I was living. I was like, that needs to stop. So how do I do that? So I quit doing some of those things in that lifestyle. And then I found people who were in a community and joined in with that. So whether that would be like church or clubs in the community, or like just there's this group of girls that walks around here that's like the hot girl walks or whatever, joining into communities that are positive too, and then hanging out with the people that have done it before me kind of made me switch into the perspective of, oh, it is possible for me to break out of this.
Yeah.
And after watching and asking how other people did it, I kind of just copycatted them. And I think that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it. Like I don't have to figure it out all by myself. Somebody else has done it, and then I can, so, and it just changed everything really. And so now I feel so much more connected to other people, and in my life is just kind of peaceful. Even though today it's been like running, it's all really good. And so I just think there's a lot of gloom and doom, especially with social media and the way that the internet works and everything, to where the problems can seem massive. But as long as I focus on what's in front of me, what I can control and can't control, and just do what's best for me and the people around me, then those problems start to get a little smaller.
Yeah.
And then you solve enough little problems that the bigger problems, you're like, oh, well, I did all this. Of course I can tackle that, so.
Right. So post closing, what's the one thing you hope your clients take away or have learned about you?
I've actually, after the closing I had just a couple weeks ago, I wanted to do a little client interview with the people that I helped to see if they did this thought this. I would like for them to think of me as someone who just made their life easier. Like when they had a problem, it got solved and they didn't have to stress over it. Someone
Yeah.
who was laid out, organized, and solve their problems. Like that's ultimately the goal, is to be like, oh, I don't know how we got to closing. That was so weird. It just all happened, but they didn't know it was me the whole time.
Right. So
And then
smooth and flawless
yeah,
closing.
yeah, and they're like,
Good.
it just happened for us. Yeah.
Well, you ready for some rapid fire questions? It should be fun, I hope.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. All right. There's a couple of them. So, favorite place to watch a sunset in Gulf Coast?
The Ice House Tap Room. It's in Gulf Shores. It's right on the lagoon, and the sunsets are insane. They always have live music too, so that helps.
All right. Beach day or boat day?
It depends on the boat, but beach day, beach day.
All right. Yeah. I've been a boat that sank. So
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Who's on the boat?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that required the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard's plane came out, a boat came. Good
No.
God, it was awful, and a storm. It was great. Everybody on the dock said, "Don't go out there," and we did.
Well,
It was awful.
sometimes you got to figure it out,
Yeah, that's right. We learned something that day.
hmm
And the walk of shame when we got back. Back to the dock. Okay. Uh, let's see. Coffee or pre-workout?
Coffee,
All right.
coffee.
Favorite local restaurant?
Tough. Oh gosh. Why is it so hard? Okay.
I know there's a lot. There's a lot.
Well, and there's so many different genres. If it's like midnight and I'm coming back in town, maybe from Atlanta, and I need a cheeseburger, the Keg, but that is like,
100%.
yes,
I'm
it's
telling y'all, if you don't know, go to the keg after
it's so
midnight,
good.
2 a.m., 3 a.m. I'm telling you,
It's so good.
it's so good.
Other than that, I would say coastal. Let's do Big Fish. Big Fish is my favorite for sure. It's right
Yeah.
up the road. Yeah. For
Good.
pre-midnight. Yeah.
All right, pre-midnight. Okay, dream vacation destination besides Alabama.
I would really like to go to Bali. I feel like that would be a really cool place. It seems like when you get there, everything's super accessible and cheap, and just a totally
Yeah.
different beach than what I'm used to.
Right.
Jungly. Yeah.
Uh, all right, this would be a tough one. Early morning workout or sunset cruise?
Mm, mean, I have to do the early morning workout. I have to.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, your dad has a boat, so
Yeah.
All right. If you weren't doing real estate, what do you think you'd be doing?
I would probably be, if I wasn't bartending, I feel like I would have to be in some sort of sales, something where
Yeah.
or something where I'm interacting with people. So maybe like medical sales, even though that doesn't really interest me, or something like that. But I never really looked at any other careers after I decided real estate was the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
I would like
it's
to be an interior designer because every time I get to go have a house staged, I'm like, this looks really fun. Like,
yeah.
yeah, let me spend
Right.
your money to make this place cute. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Last one. One word to describe the Gulf Shores.
Mm. I would say home. I want to say paradise because that's like my
Right.
whole brand and everything. And it is. But for me, I'm like, that's home. Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Best ways people can contact you. We're almost out of time, so let's get some links identified for people to find you.
Instagram, Audrey Sells Paradise. It's pretty much AudreySellsParadise@gmail.com. My phone number is always open, which I get a lot of calls from, but I always answer, even if it's a little telemarketer, So yeah.
All right. Well,
My
tell you what,
website too.
yeah.
It's
What's the website?
AudreySellsParadise.com.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the links down below wherever y'all are consuming this podcast. I'll have all your links there, so that way that people can find you directly. And we're about out of time. Is there anything I should ask you that I didn't?
I can't think of it, but if I think of it after, maybe we'll have a follow-up podcast and we'll just
All
come
right.
back after it. Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it. There you guys. There you guys. There you go. There you go. I can't even speak. Real estate. If you're looking to buy or sell a home down the Gulf Shores, Alabama, reach out to Audrey. She loves this place. You can tell. And Audrey, thank you so much for being a guest on Between Two Doors. And if y'all are looking for a lender, my name's Nate Carver, favorite mortgage guy. I'm here too, and we'll put you a good mortgage plan together. Thank you, Audrey.
Thanks, Nate.